Well, 2025 WNBA free agency is just, it's a lot. There's a lot of things that have happened in the last month. And just what happened yesterday is the Chicago Sky traded the number 3 overall pick, the 2027 second round pick, and a 2027 first round pick swap to the Washington Mystics in return for guard Ariel Atkins. Now, I truly believed that the Sky would not trade that number 3 overall pick. Yes, Jeff Pagliacca had some different things in mind. So now let's look at how Atkins fits into the Sky roster. That is actually going to go very well. And I think with what the Sky are trying to do with this move in acquiring Atkins is go, look, we want to show that we can be a contender. We can be competitive. Look at the veteran guards that we have added here to not only aid in developing Camilla and Angel, but can also produce at a high level offensively from the three-point line and also in driving abilities, mid-range, all of that offensively. On top of that, with the Atkins addition, you're also adding that defensive tenacity that the Sky did have that identity of last year. Granted, different head coach compared to this year, but you still have that defensive identity, intensity, tenacity, ferocity that will be there with the addition of Atkins. And then,
yo, I want to say something. Yesterday, I reacted to the news. I was surprised because we talked about Ariel Atkins, but I didn't believe that the number three overall pick was actually in trade. I didn't know that was on the table for Ariel Atkins. I was very surprised. But then you realize like why they did it, and it all makes sense now, right? Number one, I'm gonna say this. As a man, as a content creator, I gotta take accountability. I was totally off about this trade. Now, my I would say my original thoughts was, why did they trade the number 3 pick for Ariel Atkins? You could have got a 10 pick for it. You could have got a 2026 first round pick from Connecticut. You could get that to them. I don't know if that's giving out too much. And then you do research, which I did not do because I watched Washington games last year. And Ariel Atkins was balling. She was cooking Chicago. I watched her cook Indiana. But the part I did not mention was her resume. You look at her resume, she's a WNBA champion, 2-time All-Star. She's a 5-time All-Defensive performer. She's been on the All-Defensive team 5 times. One time it was the first team back in 2022. So look at everything she's accomplished. By the way, she's an Olympic gold medalist. Can't forget that. Ariel Atkins is a baller, all-around player. So it makes so much sense why Chicago had to give up that number 3 player. Because when you got a player that have a resume of her caliber or even more, because you saw what happened. You saw Chelsea. See, I was thinking like this, okay. LA gave up their number 2 pick for Kelsey Plum. Kelsey Plum is a star level, she's a star level player, right? Supposedly, right? She's a champion, 2-time champion, Olympic gold medalist and all that, right? Same thing with Joel Lord. So I'm like, is Ariel Atkins the same kind of player though? But when you think about it though, the part I did not mention was she's a 2-way player. And to go back into what Jeff P said, he said, I'm willing to give up this number 3 pick for a star or a 2-way player. Well, you kind of got both, right? Now, Ariel Atkins, she's not flashy. And I think a lot of people not sold on her because of she's not flashy enough. But it's not sometimes not really about flashy. You just gotta be able to go out there and just play the game the right way, make the right play on both ends of the floor. And one thing about Ariel Atkins is she one of the best defenders out there. You know, she's one of the best perimeter defenders. She's been in the top 5 in steals. You know, she averaged damn near 2 steals a game last year. And more than just that, you watch her, you know, guard. You watch her go out there and put the ball on the floor, get her own shot. So it's a lot of stuff. Like she's not just somebody that's just one dimensional. I was totally wrong. And the more I think about it, her being 28 years old, she's gonna and by the way, too, this matters. This matters. She's a professional. She got great qualities about herself. Great character, mature. That matters too. It's not just about the talent. You gotta have great character about yourself, you know. Um, as I pay attention to the whole thing, and I'm sitting back, I'm like, okay, another thing we didn't mention too. You add on Courtney Vandersloot and Ariel Atkins in the backcourt, right? Your backcourt have championship experience, and that's what's going to matter more than just talent. Because yeah, you have to have talent, but if you don't have the experience to go with the talent, you're not going to go far. You got a rookie head coach. You already got 2 rookies that you looked up with last year, especially Angel. You definitely looked up with Angel. Angel's a top 2 pick in our own right. That end up dropping to 7. So you looked up with Angel. You're gonna lead the league in rebounders. You're gonna be one of the best defensive teams in the league because of your front court. So now you add on championship experience. Courtney Vandersloot can set up shop with the best of them. One of the best point guards in WNBA history. Even at advanced age, she's still producing at a high level. Ariel Atkins in her prime, 28 years old. The veterans mixed with those 2 young players. And then on top of that, it sounds like to me they're going to keep that number 10 pick and they're going to take the best player available, like Sanaa Rivers, who I think all around, you can make the case that she may be better than Sonny Centron. Now, I know I like Sonny Centron. Man, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people talk me to Sonny Centron. I wasn't talking to Sonny Centron at first, but I said, you know what? As I watch, I like your game. I watched that game yesterday. I was like, wow, Sonny Centron actually showed me a lot in that game. Like she could do a little everything. Sonny Centron is a baller, but also you got Sanaa Rivers. Sanaa Rivers showed me, man, she got some game. She actually got some game, man. With all these guards that's going to be dropped in front of her, there's a good chance she's going to drop to number 10. I don't think Sellers going to be there at number 10, but I definitely think Sanaa Rivers can be there at number 10. So you still got a chance to get a raw talent with that number 10 pick. And if you go out and you go in the second round, you pick up Raven Johnson. You got Tyler Marsh. Tyler Marsh is a great development coach. All she needs somebody to do is to fix her jump shot. That's it. She got like a little sling shot. That can be fixed. But one thing about Raven Johnson, her energy, her tenacity on defense, she got long arms, like quick, great nose for the ball. Nah, coming from a winning program, Don Staley is one of the greatest coaches all time. To go along with Camila Cardoso and Angel Reese, and she can learn from Courtney Vandersloot and other veterans. Like everything is still going in the right direction. I think a lot of us overreacted. Honestly, bro, I think this is going to work out. I like this move, and I had to really do my research on it. And that's the problem. I failed at doing research on that. I have to take accountability. I didn't do enough research. This is exactly what Chicago needed. Ariel Atkins can get her own bucket, and she can guard. That's what they needed.
And also, if you've seen how Angel Reese has played in Unrivaled, her defensive game has gotten exponentially better here in the last month and a half that she's been down there. A lot of more. Her hands are in passing lanes, more picks, creating more turnovers, not steals, but she has the ability to create more turnovers. She's starting to tap into her length. Now, I know fans are like, why would you get rid of that 2027 first round pick swap? That's a lot. That's the juju draft. You're setting yourself up. I hear you and I understand, but let's think about this for a second. Nobody knows what 2026 will look like because of the CBA, media rights. There's so many things that need to happen after the 2025 season. And when that does happen, then you'll have an idea of what 2026 will look like. So what the Sky are doing is risky. This is very risky. You're kind of sitting here hoping, going, okay, we want to be a contender in 2025. We're going to see what pans out in 2026. They should have the practice facility by then, which will then put them in the same competitive caliber, at least compared to all the other teams, like the Storm, Aces, New York, the Sparks announcing theirs, Phoenix, all of that.
Another thing too, let me pause there because what she's saying is actually facts. I agree with her on this. By the way, she's a beat writer. I think she's a writer. She covers Chicago Sky. If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna get her name at the end of this video. But she's cooking. I like what she's saying. I noticed something too, y'all. A lot of these teams, they're trading off their picks. A lot of these teams are trading their picks, which let me know I don't think these organizations are sold on these draft prospects, especially in the first round. A lot of them are trading their picks. You know, New York was trying to trade the number 7 pick to get Natasha Cloud. Connecticut rejected the trade. You know, if you pay attention, man, outside of the first 2 picks, it sounds like to me the other picks are like, the other draft prospects are like question marks. That's what it sounds like. That's what it looks like to me on the outside looking in. You know, there are a lot of question marks. A lot of people say, man, I just don't agree with Sonya Cintron being a legit player in the WNBA. I mean, Sonya Cintron is not the for sure thing. So, you know what, Chicago went out there and got the for sure thing. Now, this can go really good for Chicago, or I think Sonya Cintron is going to show everybody that my upside is more than what you think. You know, I have more to give to the game than what y'all think. So, I mean, I think 2 things going to happen. But one thing for sure, Ariel Atkins is a ball player. She's for sure a good player. And on top of that, I for sure believe she's going to contribute day one more than Sonya Cintron in one of those draft picks. That's for sure.
They're all they're going to be in that same playing field. So what they're trying to show this year is what Tyler Marsh can do if you give him veteran leadership. That's what this is about. Jeff is putting so much trust in Marsh's ability to not only develop players, but to develop a scheme and an offensive identity to become a contender that'll finish in at least the middle of the pack, around the 5 through 8 range. Whereas prior to the Atkins addition, the Sky were still looking at finishing in around the 8 to 10 range. With the addition, it does boost the opportunity for the Sky to be a playoff contending team. Obviously, now with 44 games, you don't have an Olympic break, and there's more time and more games being played. Injuries and health is something that will be watched heavily this year, especially with everything that's kind of gone on with Unrivaled, people playing overseas, all of that. You're still in this girls playing 24/7, 365. And so it's a risk. It's a huge risk. And only time will tell if that paid off. If I'm putting my general manager hat on, I would have traded the 2027 second round pick and the number 10 pick. But I am not the general manager, nor do I know any of that. I'm just a reporter here. So I will keep you locked and loaded on what else will come through. There will most likely be an Atkins introductory press conference coming in the next couple weeks, along with possibly Courtney Vandersloot. We will have all of that ready for you guys when they do, and this team does announce it. So keep it locked here. And Ariel Atkins, welcome to Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Shout out to Carly Bell. That's her name. Great writer. No drama. She does a really good job reporting, and I like her opinion a lot. I know a lot of people, they ain't Constable. She's cool and all that. It's everybody had their own opinion about stuff. I'm gonna leave that alone. But I like Carly Bell though. She just getting, just trying to give everybody the real, how she feel about it. I think a lot of people like me may have overreacted just a tad little bit. But I think the part of this why people frustrated is like, okay, basically like what she said, you can't give up the 10 pick, you can't give up the next year pick, year after that for Ariel Atkins. That's what people are upset about. It has nothing to do with the player. Because Ariel Atkins is a baller. And I think she's gonna fit in and she's gonna buy in too. Fitting in, buying in, and getting behind Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso. She's gonna bring that energy on both ends of the court. They desperately needed the two-guard position, and now they have to fill in the other spot. So we'll see how it goes. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it though. Get in the comment section, light it up. This your boy Showtime. Holla at y'all next video. Salute.